But my message to the collective of the community is this: read, do your research. There's no rush.
That's
Don't
right.
believe in the digital fake timelines of what it means to be trans. Get the fuck out of here. These people like Dylan Mulvaney and these new jacks and these people that honestly I watched videos, Buck. I'm getting nauseous.
I
I
know.
can't even, they're making me more masculine and aggressive. Like, dude, like you never had your period. You will never get your fucking period. You'll never get your first one. You'll never get your 200th period. And you'll never get your last period.
Hi, everybody. Oh my God, thank you so much for showing up again
Thank
for this next interview. I have an amazing guest today. Oh my gosh, I've been trying to connect with her for a long time, and it's been very difficult, but we finally made it happen
mm-hmm.
because I think this is going to be one of my most powerful interviews. But that being, not that they're not all powerful, but
They
so
are
that
very
being
powerful.
said, yes, thank you. So remember, like, subscribe, comment, all of those things really help raise the the trajectory of this channel and really get all of these voices out there. It's not about me, it's about us, and it's about really getting the voices that are not being heard, because many of them, including my next guest, doesn't necessarily get heard like I think needs to be. So with that, I'm going to introduce Mina, and Mina is identifies as a trans woman,
Mm-hmm.
but I really want Mina to really introduce herself, and then we can move on from there. So hi, Mina. Oh my God, I love you.
Hi. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a great honor. You know, I'm friends with Michael Alago, who I've known since, 92, and I've always heard about you. I've seen you everywhere. I've lived in Amsterdam. I've picked up videotapes of you. Like I know I just recently I didn't know until recently that you did Joe Rogan in 2013,
Yeah,
when Joe Rogan kind of wasn't Joe Rogan yet.
that's right.
But that's amazing. I have some questions for you later, even though it's not my show. But
No, but that's
my
great.
name's Mina Caputo. I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. I am an artist outlaw, a music outlaw, and pretty much a gender outlaw. Incredibly, you know, I love all things, obscure and mysterious. And, I read a lot of Jung and philosophy. But, what side of me do you want? You want the personal, you want the professional? Professionally, I've done many records. I'm singing in a punk band called Life of Agony, since 1988. I've shared the stage with David Bowie. I've done album with Bowie's band. I've done records and songs with Kravitz's people, Jack Daly. I've done records with Martijn Lenoble, who's married to Christina Applegate, and he's played bass for Perry Farrell and in Porno for Pyros, played bass with David Gahan. The list goes on. I don't, professionally, that's, your rise and fall. These are kind of the things I play with the Pixies. I don't know what kind of music you're into,
All
but
of it, all of
I
it,
played
all
with
of it.
Arrested Development, Foo
Wow.
Fighters, Flea plays trumpet on one of my albums, a release I did in 2007. I've been making records since, I believe, 1990. And that's really my main squeeze. Like, that's how I really express myself musically. I make music for documentaries, commercials, indie films. I just scored a television show for the Learning Channel. I mean, the
Wow.
list goes on. I can't even keep up with my own kind of like accumulation of life experiences. I've lived all over the world. I've lived in Amsterdam, Cologne, Berlin. I've lived in Sweden. I've lived in LA. I've lived in Miami, Boca Raton. But gravity and life keeps pulling me back to my hometown, which is Brooklyn, New York, which is where I'm at right now.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm just, I have a couple of shows. My birthday's in a couple of days. December 4th, I'll be 49 years old. I'm so happy I've made it this long. I really thought, growing up in our time, I was going to be like another 27 crew, you know, Morrison,
Yep.
Janis Joplin,
Yep.
because I
Sure
was
do.
totally fucking mental and totally like, can I curse?
Of course.
Oh, great,
I'm a
because
motherfucker. I talk.
okay, because I have the worst fucking voice. So you know, I'm just very repulsive. Like, um, where was I?
You're awesome.
Where the fuck was I?
You were like, you moved back to Brooklyn. You're 49.
I'm
You
gonna be 49 December
Yep.
4th. I'm
Yep.
so happy I made it this far. I thought I was going to be, you know, because,
Yep.
you know, my whole life, like, you know, my very first doll was Princess Leia. Okay. I believe that people like us on a spiritual level, on a psychological level, you know, what I was telling you before the interview, I love to read. I'm very well read. I'm very well cultured. I grew up reading Manly P. Hall, Young. You know, I love the Graham Hancock stuff, Joe Dispenza,
Right.
Alan Watts. I'm a big fan of Terrence McKenna. I'm sure you know these
Yep.
people, and just mind expanding gifted linguistic engineers to totally like, just because I know, like, in my life experience, like, I don't want to label it as being something wrong, or we're you know, we're a different creature, like trans people, whatever words humans put on things, where we're spirits having a human experience. This is what we are. We're not humans having spiritual experiences. We're spirits from some divine, mysterious place that, you know, the Matrix, the Disney-fied world doesn't really want you looking at. So you have all these pretenders, and I call them bobbleheads and rubberheads, walking around kind of just in a consumeristic state.
Right.
And it's infuriating too, because I see a lot of kids, a lot of phone kids coming up. I call them, you know, and I'll say it in our trans community, I call them like transposes and trans parodies, because it's almost like, you know, now you have 100 Dylan Mulvanes, the person who wants to teach the world about womanhood, but in the same political breath, wants to call biological women birthing people. So no, with these backwards philosophies, like, I'm not even gonna front. I own what I am. I'm a blessing, and I'm a curse to my own perception, however I want to let those energies into me. And this is what we go through, I believe, as a people. Buck, I'm only speaking seriously from my own heart, my own soul, the gut and depth of what I think I'm experiencing as a somewhat sane person. The human species, we're insane. We're insane. Okay? That's the reality of it all. We're all born into a world that we're supposed to be adjusted to the idea and the ideologies and facts that we're you know, we're creating nuclear atomic bombs that could wipe out the earth, all the people, all the species, and interfere cosmically. That's not something to be proud of on my list of shit. So I apply that kind of like all these deep philosophies with what people like us are going through. It's an energy, it's a frequency. We're encoded with it, maybe. You notice how not one endocrinologist or someone like, even my first doctor who prescribed me hormones, which is very important. First of all, I went to a therapist who specialized in gender for 2.5, 3 years before they even let me get hormones. That's what gender affirming care looks like. Not
Excellent.
not oh my God, mommy, you know, I want to be pretty like this girl and da da ba ba ba. Okay, throw him on on an iron table like the Mayans and sacrifice the kid before the kid even gets to understand what's going on. What people have to understand is that we're in a consumeristic,
That's right.
ideological landscape,
That's right.
and it's a business, and we're barcodes, and it's a pretend country called America, but it's a corporation. And we are literal barcodes in a consumeristic landscape. And you notice how they always seem to conveniently throw in the Black Fridays and this and that. Meanwhile, Syria's getting bombed, Ethiopia's getting bombed, the Ukraine's getting bombed, Yemen's getting bombed. You know what I mean? And it's just like, but back to the whole thing where, I had to go through therapy as a 33-year-old. I started when I was 30.
Mhm.
I came out to, I mean, people knew I was very eccentric. First of all, my imagination is explosive. So like being this soul in a male anatomical biological spacesuit that I like to call this biological flesh suit. I come in as with this, and through the miracle of doctors and what some medicines can do applied correctly and with wisdom, not this hurry up. You notice how the system could give a fuck about your trans kids 2 3 years ago. There was no, there was all the business,
Fuck yeah.
all the business was being parlayed with the gays. Now there's no more money to be made with gay people. Now there's all the money to be made with trans kids in this digital uprising and influence of trans kids. Come on. You can't you can't negate that idea, and you can't argue with the idea that all these children are coming in with this digital organ because people use phones as an external organ now. They're being influenced, and great, explore your soul. But that doesn't mean pump the system with drugs. That doesn't mean, first of all, if you know anything about endocrinology and hormone therapy, the shit hijacks your system.
That's right.
Okay, I've been on hormones for 12, 11, 12 years. I'm not on it anymore. Pains in my bones, rashes every time. My libido's completely gone. I'm a very sensual, erotic, sexual person.
Mhm.
I spent years looking for my horniness, it wasn't fun to me anymore. And then I realized, you know what, babe? And this is we all have those voices going on inside of our
Mhm.
heads. And that one voice is saying, listen, you're going against the nature codes to begin with. Your soul feels one thing,
Yeah.
but the body presents itself as another.
That's right.
We, by free will and through the miracle of some of humanity's successes, I can put fake boobs in my body. I can feminize my body. I can change the shape. I can get smoother, but it will never change the 3D reality that I'm a fucking male mammal that's going through some kind of phenomenon. I don't call, I will never invalidate what we as a people go through. What we go through is a blessing, and it's more information than what most people could handle. But that doesn't mean just because your 3 year old. Let me give you an example that just happened. I brought my dog up, my little baby Tony, cute Chihuahua. We hosted some friends at Thanksgiving just the other night, and their child loved my dog so much. Can I tell you that the baby, the 3 4 year old kid, turned into the dog for the next 6 hours?
Of course.
And I
Yeah.
thought to myself, you see, when we have this generation of rubberheads, we have kids having kids,
That's right.
and kids basically, hey, take the phone, leave me the fuck alone. And these kids are on the phone, they're exploring.
Mhm.
That's what humanity is all about. You can explore, da, ba, 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 ba. But my message to the collective of the community is this: read, do your research. There's no rush.
That's
Don't
right.
believe in the digital fake timelines of what it means to be trans.
Mhm.
Get the fuck out of here. These people like Dylan Mulvaney and these new jacks and these people that honestly I watched videos, Buck. I'm getting nauseous.
I
I
know.
can't even, they're making me more masculine and aggressive. Like, dude, like, you never had your period. You will never get your fucking period. You'll never get your first one. You'll never get your 200th period. And you'll never get your last period. And you'll never menstruate naturally. You'll never lactate milk naturally. You think the milk coming out of your tit, this shit has fucking been poisoned by hormones.
There you go.
You're not even giving the fucking kid pure shit.
That's
We
right.
are part kind of like, and you know what I do see? I don't know if you've read anything about transhumanism, but it's about humans. Like I said, we now have this technology in our hand. People can't even walk dogs anymore normal. Their phones walk them. It's like this. It's like I'm like, honestly, I'm not a fan of where humanity's going with this digital. There are some graces like you and I could actually convene. We can discuss. And you know what, Buck? You don't have to agree with anything that I say.
That's
But
right.
I know you have wisdom, you have intelligence, you have heart, you have soul to understand where I see the way you react to the people that are trying to chisel at your goodness. Don't let them destroy the good. Because you know what? These people, I feel like the phone people that are coming up, even the trans parodies, listen, I'm being mean. I don't know Dylan Mulvaney, but I don't like, she needs to think about how the words, the linguistic engineering she's affecting a culture with. It's like all I'm hearing is these silly ideas of what women actually are.
Yeah.
All these trans ideologies, I'm sorry, my friend, doesn't make it a safer place for trans people to exist. They want to blame it on people like us
That's right.
that literally are dropping the fucking mic from the Twin Tower, but nobody's hearing because everybody's more interested in reacting and getting a like
Right.
from a reaction than actually dropping some fucking wisdom. I'm sorry, but the government, all these people that treat us like literal barcodes, like numbers that been tattooed on an arm, I'm sorry. Um, they don't give a fuck about us. You know what's so funny? Every time a new virus comes out or this or that, go check the stocks. I I I related this whole attack on trans people, and it's like trans people, kids, trans youth, please awaken. I'm not telling anyone how to feel, what to think. I'm not even trying to convince anybody. I'm just sharing my what how I see through the perspective of my eyeballs, which nobody could take away. And you know what? I own what I am, Buck, and I own what I'm not. The trans ideologies of today literally are erasing what I'm going through. That's my torture. The fact that I'm not in a biological female spacesuit. Like really? Is this the cruel joke you played on me? For real? Is this what I chose to come in with?
Yeah.
Because I'm bisexual, I've had many lady lovers. I will not stand here and fake the front and pretend that I know what it is to be a real woman. Okay? I emulate, and I've given up that. I actually I didn't I'm kind of both, but I do I do know this divine feminine is inside of me. I was telling you before, because I'm a scatterbrain, that out of all the great endocrinologists that are out there, my first doctor, that's what I was getting to. I went to therapy for 3 years before I even prescribed it. But I used to have these conversations with my doctor. He was amazing. His name was Dr. Bartolos. He doesn't practice anymore, but he was studying the transsexual phenomenon for 55 years. That dude could never and would never go along,
That's
with
right.
this ideology. And he's been studying the phenomenon of transsexual for 55 years. And that's what it's all about. Why someone like you feels like
That's right.
you should have been born in my body, and Buck, I should have been in you, and boom,
Yep.
here we are almost 50 years
Yep.
fucking later talking about it and expanding people's minds. And you know what? All these people, all these groupthink suckers, I'm a lone wolf. You cannot fuck with a lone wolf. Like seriously, like I'm no, the people. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay, but that's awesome.
Hang on.
Your passion is so beautiful.
Yeah,
No, your passion is so beautiful.
I'm
Yes.
a very passionate human being, Buck.
I
I
know.
love humanity. I
Yes.
want to see everyone. I want everyone's table on the planet to have food on it. I don't understand the ideologies that we live with these days, and it's all crumbling. It's all crumbling, and you know, it's like, come on, trans people, own your authenticity. Whatever happened
That's
to like
right.
whatever happened to being different? All the girls that I grew up with, all the transsexuals,
Yep.
all the when I was going out completely in drag, even though I knew I was going through my thing, we didn't have these words. I didn't know what I was going through. So I literally had to go out to the trans clubs and do my thing and doll all up and get to this feeling that really empowered my soul. Like, yeah, like, fuck, you know, like I wish I was really born in a biological female spacesuit. And this is why too, you know, um definitely grappling with the ideas of being completely against you know, trans women competing against biological women in sports. And here I'm grappling with it because here's why. Like, there's all different. See, first of all, if I owned the Olympics, I'd be proud of trans people. First of all, no one cares if you're trans, if you're this, if you're that. We're at a point in that's that time in our city. No one gives a shit. I see old ladies, everyone is so cool. It's what you put out there, really.
Oh, that's
And
so
vibrationally, that's what you know, you're gonna keep putting that fear out and all that. The universe is okay, that you want more of that, whether you want it or you don't want it. The universe doesn't hear words, it feels vibration, and that's what you get back. I know I'm jumping all over the place because I know we only have an hour to talk, but to the sports thing, if I owned the Olympics, I would be a proud to create the first ever trans category. But if if this woman boxer, female biological woman boxer, wants to compete with this trans woman boxer, let them have it. Let them compete. That's the problem to begin with in sports, is that it's already this, everything in our life, we're born into a two-tier system. That's right. Republicans, Democrats, white, black, Chinese, Japanese, you know, Italians, Irish, you know, Jewish, Muslim, you know, black, white, you know, it's just like Nintendo, Atari, you know, like it's Pepsi, Cola, Coca-Cola. It's endless. And this is not how this is not the right way to even develop proper neurological wave patterns in the brain.
That's right.
Listen, I know. Oh, so what I was saying about my doctor too, he's been studying. No one could even place their finger on medically what we go through. Like, I understand the conceptualization behind trans women or women. I get that. I get that. Vibrationally speaking, energetically speaking, and frequency wise speaking, I get that. But let's own who the fuck we are, people. Like, who is my we went from fuck. We went from trans advocates like Leslie fucking Feinberg and fucking Kate Bornstein And what's the other one? Who's the black trans girl? She was fierce. Her tongue was wild. I loved her.
Oh, was that what's her name from Stonewall?
Mhm.
Marsha P was
No, not
no,
Marsha
not
P.
Marsha. She was a
Johnson.
transvestite. Um, uh,
There,
gosh,
there was another one, not
so
Olivia.
Sophie.
Olivia something something. I'm having a mind fart, but
Yeah, yeah.
she was
Well,
fucking. Her
was it
tongue was.
Sylvia? No, Sylvia Rivera was Latina, right?
Yeah, no, it
Yeah,
wasn't her.
yeah.
Um,
I'm trying to think.
she was a
As we
black,
go. Yeah,
fierce, fucking trans
yeah,
woman that like. We went from these powerhouses.
yeah,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
not to insult Dylan Mulvaney. You can obviously tell that she's not even a developed human being
That's
yet. Like
right.
you don't
That's right.
even have enough life experience. And you know what, Buck?
That's
I
right.
know like people will call me conspiracy theorist, but I prefer forensic dot connector.
Yeah,
I prefer like a forensic dot connector because the rabbit holes are endless, first of all.
that's right.
And if you're not doing your diligent research on your own, you're literally an idiot.
Yeah,
And
you're right.
that term has been so overused as a trope, man, as like a
Mhm,
gaslighting thing. Like
mhm,
that term was created by the CIA anyway
mhm.
to make simpletons think the people like us that figured out who killed JFK are fucking nuts.
Of course.
But
Yeah,
the reality, everything again is backwards, and we're seeing that. That's the cool thing
that's right.
about phones, that everything that we're seeing in Hollywood, in the
Mhm,
food industry, in the
mhm,
medical industry, in
mhm.
the everything, in the media industry, in the music industry. It's like, bury the real artists that have something real to fucking say. Don't put these
That's
people
right.
on the radio. Put
Nope.
the fucking idiots like 6ix9ine on, or this one or that
That's
one.
right.
Keep dumbing down the fucking culture,
So true.
because we need consumeristic intentions. Because here's the thing, Buck, what a lot of people don't understand is the psychology of their own mind. And it's like, that's why I laugh
Good.
when it's just like, and that's how the media works.
Hmm.
They team up
Hmm.
with the most brilliant psychologists. What colors to snap people into, like blue with Twitter. It's the blue is addicting. Facebook is blue. NASA, all these, which
Hmm.
me never a straight answer, by the way. I'll tell you that. But I know I'm teasing, but I know I'm scattering because
No, no,
we're
no.
half hour. But
Everything you're saying, Mina, is so powerful and so right on. And so many people need to hear what you're saying. You're coming from a very spiritual, very internalized
yeah,
understanding who you are
yeah,
space. That's why you're so brilliant, because you're literally saying, look, we are off track, and we are being on some level told how to walk, talk, all of it. We're literally becoming
yeah,
human robots through what you said, technology,
yeah,
this desire to medicalize all of us. And then once you start hitting the kids, how can
yeah.
people not be in an uproar around this desire to medicalize a transgender kid? I don't understand how.
My friend's kid turned into a dog for 6 hours, and I was like, wow,
There you go.
like how kids go through things, man. Like I waited my whole life. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
And first of all, if you know anything about the immune system and the body and the cellular system and the biological system, you need to know, in order to be a healthy, prominent, well-structured, cellularly speaking
Mhm.
individual
Mhm.
with things all working, you need to go through puberty. I'm sorry.
I
You
mean,
need
really, Mina, can you imagine we're having this conversation? Like, we're literally telling people you actually need to go through puberty, like as if we're saying something so transphobic. Like, those kids are going through healthy puberty. So then, they always use that trope. Well, cis kids use it, but those
First of all,
cis
I
kids,
fucking hate that cis
I
word.
hate it. I hate it.
And
I hate it.
also too, what the fuck was I gonna say? Shit,
I'm
I had
sorry, I
such a
didn't mean.
no,
Yeah,
it was
yeah. It's just there's so much for you to say. There's so much because you have such history, and you're very well spoken, and you come to this with a deep understanding that many people, I think, will be woken up by what you're
yeah,
saying.
people children need to develop properly.
Thank you.
Oh, like I was saying, yeah,
Thank you.
to relate it back, you
Thank you.
check. Russell Brand said it himself, and he's a leader and very thought provoking. He does
Yes.
great research.
Yes.
Anyway, I learned from him.
Yeah.
It was clear what they were doing because of all this mishmash of obviously we all know that the VAX doesn't really stop transmission or the spread of anything.
That's right.
It's really clear what's going on. It was a big money grab. Ba ba ba. Guess what happened to Moderna stocks, Pfizer stocks,
Yeah.
ba ba stocks, this company stocks? All the shit went down. So you know what I saw? I saw a heavy rotation, medically speaking, that went directly after trans children. And boom, here we go. Hundreds of
Wow.
videos all over the place. Yeah, your kids too? Bring them to the medical center. What did get there? That's not gender affirming care. Growing up is gender affirming care. Going through your natural states of change, because one day you can be a girl, the next day you want to be this, and the next day you want to be that, especially as a child.
That's right.
And I would never invalidate my kid either, but I
No.
also would never be in a rush too. You can't be in a rush. Kids need to learn everything about endocrinology. You need to read about hormone therapy. You need to learn about all the side effects. You need to live as a woman or a man as the opposite, the way they
That's
did
right.
to us.
That's
That
right.
ain't fucking torture. That's
No.
called experience, dude.
Oh my God, I love you.
That's called wisdom.
Right
And you
on.
know what? Before I even saw a therapist or an endocrinologist, Buck, I was already out there at 17 years old going to trans bars. I already knew, but I went through the curriculum. I played the fucking game. And you know what, Buck? I'm happy I did, because my body, if if I didn't, my body wouldn't have been able to handle certain things. And everyone's different. And listen, I'm not telling parents with trans kids or whether they think they're trans kids or not what to do with their children. That's on you. Oh, this is what I wanted to say. If the medical center was sincere about loving and caring about the trans community and trans children in particular, they would sell all angles of the game. Notice how not one medical pediatrician or this or that sold the idea. Listen, your kid thinks he or she is trans. All right, get the fuck over yourself, 3 or 4. Okay, we're going to wait a little while. We're going to go to many years of therapy. You're going to live this way. You're going to go to the end. And fuck, again, I forgot what I was going to say again. Shit.
Oh no, you got it. You got it. It's basically
Oh,
keeping kids in their biological gender, their biological sex, to grow up and before you make that drastic change.
it's so
It's unbelievable that we are pushing this upon children. That's why I think it's a
yeah.
farce. I
My
don't
whole
think it's real.
exactly that
It's
it's a if that's what I was saying.
yeah.
If it was sincere, they would sell all angles. They would put
It's all
the how Buck how
yeah.
this is what I keep forgetting.
Mhm.
How many detransitioners every year that have rushed into hormone
That's right.
therapy and rushed into irreversible surgery that they're now paying for. So my thing is that, listen, guys, trans community,
Mhm.
if people were sincere and 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 didn't come at a business angle, and they were really coming from a real health angle, they would say, hey, listen, parents with trans kids or kids that think they're trans,
Uh-huh.
hold on.
Uh-huh.
You have to watch 100,000 videos. I'm just throwing a stupid example.
That's right.
You need to educate yourself on the hundreds of thousands of detransitioners every year that are putting themselves. Everyone's in a rush to go nowhere, even in the
Yeah,
trans world. There's
that's
no
right.
specific timeline, but I'll tell you what, you can't be jumping into irreversible shit because you thought you were trans. Like, I'm so I had a doll. I had my Princess Leia doll. I looked at all the girls' pretty toenails, and they were, and I was attracted to colors. It's why I became a fucking artist and painter. I
right.
paint with sound. I'm a very creative. Children are very creative. The jaded world hasn't jaded the child yet. And now parents are throwing phones in kids' hands. So you get this miserable teenager fucking boy that doesn't want to live as a guy anymore. So, okay, now it's day one of being a girl.
Oh.
And then it's day two of being a girl. And these stupid fucking videos that got me livid, Buck.
Me too.
Fucking so angry, and I don't give a fuck who's got to say what. I'm not with the mainstream. I don't give a fuck about that. Anything,
right.
man. I hate mainstream music. I hate
Yep.
the mainstream foods. I hate your mainstream reality shows. I hate your mainstream fucking actors. Like, fuck your fake Disney-fied bullshit. I'm all about real.
That's right.
I'm like the old, I call myself old dirty tranny.
I love you.
Because nobody likes that word. And
I know.
You're so offended. Oh, yeah? What about all these trans women parlaying in trans sports? You should be ashamed. You're literally, especially, that's another angle that I would sell if I owned the Olympics. And it's like, okay, if the trans kid did have hormone therapy, maybe the body and skeletal system does grow differently, but we haven't had a case like that. But there should definitely be, it's also too, if I owned the prison systems,
Wow.
I would lock trans girls like me with trans girls like me. I would lock biological women up with biological women. I would lock trans men like you with trans men like fucking you. Because you're no good in a biological male fucking cell. Hello?
No.
Are these people stupid?
Yep.
Yeah. So, and you know what, Buck? I don't know. Here's the deal. With the big they, all the people at the wheel running the shit show that we got going on, regardless, whoever's running the prison system, either there's this big rule and divide game that I feel like, especially come Pride 2, trans people, the whole LGBT community, again, Buck, I know you do a lot of work for this community. Honestly, I'm a lone wolf. I don't do tribes. I don't do group think. I want to help people, but even in and I've donated thousands of dollars to the LGBT community in my year too. And I've been pushed aside, and I'm not like looked at as fucking anything. And even I get like all these other trans people that want to be they want to be the new Dylan Mulvaney, they want to be the new Laverne Cox, they want to be the new Lydia Moore or whoever, and it's like it's like, yo, man, whatever happened to owning our transness? Suddenly everyone's a biological woman now. All I see is the erasing of biological women rights.
That's right.
I will defend biological women before I defend trans women.
Me too.
Before I defend trans men. Before I defend biological men. I will always fight for biological women. That's why I am the way I am. That's why I didn't fuck my life up, but like these people were, I guess, never sincere with me anyway, but I've lost many colleagues, many friends, many family members. The only one that still loves me is my fucking dog.
And me, I love you.
And Michael. No, I'm teasing.
I know.
I'm an extremist, but like, it's a hard life. And I literally turn my whole life inside out because that's basically what we do. Because we're trying to show the world that, yo, man, the ancient ones, the gods, we've been encoded. This is what we do. And you can't fight with the animal kingdom because I'll put everyone to shame because butterflies change species. The male clownfish at the end of the male's life changes female. Wood ticks, wood lice, amphibians, all seem to change gender at particular ways. I'll be honest with you. I'm off hormones almost 4 years. Like,
oh, wow. Okay.
Like, Buck, I'm in limbo.
Right.
My body's beautiful. I have both. I never got the irreversible surgery down there.
Yep.
And you know what? All the trans girls that I grew up with, something I didn't finish before, all discouraged me to even come out. They said even if I did come out, because it was such a hard life, don't
Yep.
ever get, what was it called, SRS back in the
Yep.
day.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know what it's called now because I can't keep up anymore, and
I
I'm not even trying to. Because I would never go there because that's not a part of my journey.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm all about non-conforming. I like the idea that I'm different, that I'm authentic, that I'm not like the boys and I'm not like the girls. Whatever happened to that?
I don't know.
The whole world loves trans people. They accept trans people, whether they understand it or not.
That's
That's
right.
on you. Who
That's
gives
right.
a fuck? I don't want your understanding.
It's called validation. Everybody needs validation now.
I don't need nobody's validation.
Me neither.
People need to understand you have to validate your own worth.
Mm-hmm.
The world is designed to take your worth away.
That's
and
right.
we see it now, even in the trans community. All these kids coming up, hammering at you, hammering at Blair White.
That's right.
Hammering at fucking Joe Rogan.
That's right.
Mr. Peterson, Matt Walsh.
That's right.
It's simple. I'm not a female mammal. I can't shoot kids out of my asshole. You know what I mean?
I totally.
And that's the reality. Yeah,
that's right.
I use my asshole as a vagina, but
so that's good.
I can't shoot a kid out. My body feels like it. My soul feels like I should have carried young, and that's part of the torture.
That's right. That's right. That's part of the torture.
I'm neither.
That's right.
I don't know what I am, and if any human being thinks they figured out what they see when they look in the mirror, I know you're full of shit.
That's right.
Because unless this ancient information about what we are as spirits is hidden in places like the Vatican, because you know the Vatican, there's about 51 miles of ancient artifacts and information about human origins.
I know.
Perhaps we wouldn't even be arguing about anything if people were straight with people from the jump anyway, post-agricultural.
Yep.
Our civilization.
Yep.
You know, but the Romans had the trans people, the Greeks, the Hopi American Indian tribes, the Cherokee tribes. I understand.
Everyone.
I would never invalidate the energy that we experience. So nobody could even say dick to me, but I'm talking on a 3D physical, biological flesh suit. Holy shit. This ain't even solid. And that's why we could carve ourselves up and do our thing. And listen, you're an adult. Do whatever the fuck you want, man. You know, but like the world needs to go slow with children is the most important thing. If the medical community, they call it the practice of medicine because they're practicing on you.
That's right. I say it all the time. They're called practicing medicine, you dumbasses. They don't know shit. And you know, this is what I want to ask you, Mina. Everything you're saying is so brilliant. But you know, they keep saying this shit is reversible. They want to actually poison us. You know, I'm not healthy with all this testosterone in my body, and I'm very aware of it. I haven't stopped because I'm willing to just take whatever comes from it because I'm a more happy person that way. But that being said, that's why this is an individual journey. It's not a collective mind of this is trans. That's the completely insane. And the fact that they keep telling us all of this is reversible, that's why I'm so mad that they're not being honest. And what you say, why aren't we just owning our transness? Why are we pretending we're not trans now? We've never done that before. They're hypocrites.
Well, I'll tell you, I know a couple of doctors. I know a doctor that owns 3 practices. He used to play in a band. He used to be a drummer in one of my bands throughout the years.
Yeah.
And I know an endocrinologist friend of his, and he chuckles at the ideologies of he thinks there's a lot of ill-mannered etiquette going on in the medical industry, and
Oh,
it started with this whole fucking thing,
oh,
you know,
wow.
doctors censoring doctors and this, and now they're taking advantage. Now
Wow.
they're preying on trans children or children that want to play with their gender, which there's nothing wrong with that. We've all come to a point
Yeah,
in our species that we
yeah,
know that this is what the species goes through. Yeah,
yeah,
Buck, I'm gonna be 49 in literally just a few hours. I'm not on hormones anymore.
yeah,
I'm so happy I didn't get any irreversible surgeries. And you know what, Buck? Maybe by 60, I'll grab back my divine masculine energy and live as a guy again.
yeah. That's
I
right.
don't know.
That's right.
I don't
That's right.
fucking know.
That's right.
But I
That's right.
do know what I don't want, and I know I never wanted the bottom surgery, and I know that wasn't part of my path. And
That's right.
yo, man,
Yeah.
gender affirming care is going slow, going to therapy,
There you go.
learning everything about endocrinology, learning
That's right.
and not hijacking people's minds, not hijacking their body. It seems as if there's like this big, they want to own everything about the sovereignty of the human species. And
Yes.
and it's like, all these trans people that are parlaying in this game, like, Leah Thompson, actually, if she was a true pioneer, she would
That's
have been like, fuck that. Can we make a real trans
That's right.
thing? And then,
That's right.
hey, I got some ideas and solutions.
That's
If
right.
people want to compete with me, let them compete with me. But
That's
I
right.
know you can't violate the rights of biological women to appease your rights.
That's
That's
right.
hypocrisy.
That's right. Oh my God. It's so insane. The fact, so I always say that about Leah. If
Fuck,
she
I'm
would have
dizzy.
turned around and gave the trophy to the second place girl and said, you know, I mean, and been such a good sportsmanship. It's about sportsmanship. It's so gross. It's gross.
I'll
What
drop
happened to
another
us?
mic.
Yeah.
So I'm in the rock. I'm in a lot of different genres. If I
Yeah.
won best female vocalist rock
Mhm.
singer of the year,
Mhm.
I'd be like, guys, Rolling Stone, whatever, Spin,
Yep.
award show, whatever fucking show I was
Yep.
at.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm grateful that
Mhm.
everyone's honoring me as a female mammal
Mhm.
species, whatever. But I got male vocal cords, homie. I'm not a real female. I'm a trans woman. I'm a
Oh God.
trans female. I'm having this different experience. I
Yeah.
never had a
Yeah.
period. I don't know what it means to all the fear that comes with the first period. I don't know these things. I could
That's right.
never claim to own what a biological female mammal goes through. Can we stop the madness? So I would say, here you go, Lana Del Rey, or here you go, whatever your face's name is. You take the fucking award because you were the next runner up. Thank you, people. I appreciate
Brilliant.
it, but let's create a trans category.
That's right.
Yay, I fucking won.
That's right.
Like, it's
That's
not
right.
hard, man.
It's not hard, but they're making it hard for some weird ass reason. It doesn't make sense to me in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I'm not a man. I'm a transsexual man. I'm a biological woman, female who lives as a man. No big fucking deal. I've always been honest to the world about that. What's the problem? Nothing. I actually have amazing friends all over the world because I'm honest about who and what
And
I am.
I think it's amazing, but you are and you aren't. I look at you and I see a fucking man. I know I can imagine a little bit because I'm not in your body, what you have gone through your eyes, even though we experience a kind of parallel thing. I still can't identify what you go through, but like, yeah, we're on the same. We're the double edged of the sword. Where like, yes, I feel like I've had so much beautiful sex with so many beautiful women. I can never. My girl and the girl Veronica Bellino, who plays drums for my band, is biological women. We talk about it all the time. I'm like, I wish I was in your body, babe. She's like, I wish. She's lesbian. I wish I was in your fucking body. And it's just like, I can't fake the front and pretend I know what the fuck
That's right.
she went through as a young lady. Can we stop the nonsense here?
Yeah.
And then you have these stupid tampon companies because
Ooh,
everyone's trying to be politically correct,
that's right.
and Sid, there's nothing correct about the game of politics.
That's
It's
right.
all bullshit, and
That's
it's
right.
all about ruling and dividing people. So I don't get with the political niceties and I'm not. It's like, yo, work on your feelings. You know
That's
what,
right.
Buck? I grew up. My mom died. I have a lot of
Oh.
theories as to why I am the way I am. I never knew my mom. She OD'd. She was one. I was 1 year old. I was born in '73. She died in '74. One of my theories is her ghost is clinging on to me,
Maybe.
which creates this overexposure of this femininity that I feel within. Maybe her spirit's latching on. I don't know. It's a theory. Maybe I'm so desperate in my own trauma where I never smelt the woman I came out of. I never tasted her. I never touched her. I never hugged her. Maybe that's why I am the way I am. My doctor couldn't tell me. I couldn't. I can't even tell you with all the with all the with all the I don't want to say how much wisdom that I spit out, but all the information that I share, um, it's heavy, it's complex. So is my dad died too in 2022. He was 56, and he was never around, so I never had a real male figure. And all the male figures in my life, honestly, I don't even want to say what they did to the women. Okay, and I didn't look up to them. You ever see Raging Bull?
Of course. Yeah.
Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
I'm Italian.
Yeah.
I experienced all of that. I don't have to get graphic. I don't have to like get into all that. But as a young little boy or little, little thing, whatever little creature, I'm a little creature in this little body being like, I don't want to be like that.
That's right.
I'm more like this.
Yeah.
So like maybe it is a social thing where
right.
we mold our own defenses and our own armor. Maybe this is I always have this see what we go through, what I go through. I know you feel it too. It's very sacred to me.
That's right.
This isn't like I'm not prancing around, want to be pretty for my avatar. I don't even give a shit. If you go to my pages, you hardly ever see a selfie.
I know, it's true, actually.
I'll post my feet on my selfies, not my fucking face. I don't do it for likes or follows. I'm here to push people, to help people think, to help them grow spiritually, to help them build armor, to help them say, hey, you can't fuck with my authenticity. I'm not going to be, a doormat to you, like in any way. No one gets to tell me what to put in my body, how to feel, what to think. I'm my own motherfucking shaman, my own energy, my own encyclopedia, my own Himalayan monk in the mountain, if you will. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why these people that are coming up, and you know what? I kind of find it very ironic that Dylan Mulvaney, and I'm on her too because like it's TikTok's favorite trans person. Like what's the deal with her? What's the deal? I don't know nothing about her.
Me
to
neither.
Be honest, but
where did they come from? Where did Dylan come from?
Out of nowhere. There's a new kid that just literally day 2 of being a girl literally behaves just like Dylan. And it's
another one?
They're like parodies of each other instead of really like, come on, man. I went from Leslie Feinberg to Kate Bornstein, and this is what famous. This is why all your people are backwards, doggy. This is why all you motherfuckers can't think, hun. Like, stand in your power. Stand in your different. I'm different. I'm proud to be different.
That's right.
I'm like on fire knowing I walk down the street and people are like, what the fuck was that? You know, like
I love it.
I don't know, Buck. But the
No,
real
I
reason,
live for that too. I live for people to be like, "Oh wow, dude, what's that?" Like, I'm naked in the gym or something. I'm like, "Oh, no big deal." That's the thing, Mina. I have been so open for the many years I've been in the public eye. I have been so open about my transsexualism.
I
I'm
know you
open
have
about me
been.
being that. I have a vagina. I live as a man. It's not
I
people
know.
come. People are like at first like, ugh. But then when you literally have the conversation, you're honest. What you're saying, you live in your fucking truth.
Yeah.
People are like, they don't fucking care. It's these wingnuts who are pretending they're actually biological women, having periods, having babies, having all these things. Exactly what you're saying. This is tearing us apart. Or it's killing the trans community, killing
Yeah.
us.
And you know what I also don't like too? I see a lot of all these celebrity famous trans advocates that
That's right.
are literally parlaying in this game
That's
and
right.
congratulating people like Dylan Mulvaney for their newfound success. It's like, you people are fucking idiots.
Sick.
How can you, as a trans woman, how can you ever violate the rights of the energy you're trying to emulate, you fucking
Oh,
rubberhead?
thank
What
you
is
for
wrong
saying
with you?
that.
What is
Thank
wrong
you.
with you? And you know what, too,
Thank you.
Buck? I'm going to say this as well. Not one famous trans celebrity, too, not one of them have sold the angle of caution. Hey,
That's
kids,
right.
you know what? Before you do anything,
That's right.
look at all the detransitioners every year, because you know what?
That's
They're
right.
out there too, and they're suffering just like us.
Oh my
And
God.
not one celeb,
Nope.
not one medical channel or
Nope.
rubberhead out there
That's right.
that's what I really wanted to tell you. And that was like my main, like, I really wanted to hit on with you, because no one is selling the whole truth. They're all selling these weaponized / politicized angles.
That's right.
Why? Because you're going to lose 2 million followers, or
Money.
or
That's right.
it's like, how much did they pay you
That's right.
to push this hollow ideology about gender affirming care when it doesn't even really look like that, dude?
They don't want to lose their space. That's why it's discussed. They don't want to lose their space. They're I see it all. All those influencers, they're all on board with this because they make a boat shit ton of money.
Off record, I want to talk to you about someone and something they did. Very bad decision, trans woman, that I'm infuriated by. I won't get into it now because I know we don't have time. And I don't want to call it out or call her out.
We'll talk about it first. We'll talk about it first, and then
absolutely.
And then if I feel like we could do that, 100%.
Well, I'm not even saying I even would want to, but
okay.
There's
That's
things
fair.
out there that, like, these people are such hypocrites.
Yep.
And honestly, I have nothing to lose. I have,
Neither do I.
I'm 49. I was on top of the world long before the phones, before the easy way out. I've risen. I've fallen many times in my career. I made all the money I want. I have nothing at stake. I don't care. I have nothing to lose. I have no stakes in the outcome by being real and sincere about, again, before any rubberhead wants to judge me or evaluate and judge me. I'm always speaking through my eyes.
That's right.
The creature that I am. I'm not speaking for no groupthink, no collective, but I will not stand on the sideline like a lot of trans people, especially in the music industry. I'm disappointed in a lot of people where they know the reality of shit. But again, people are so scared and have such their heads up their ass. They think turning a cheek is going to fix things. I'm a very wise individual. The idiotic linguistic engineering that I see happening in the world ain't going to be interfered without. It's going to be interfered. I will not allow the world to be carved into idiocy. I'm going to try to help direct that change as much as I can.
Right.
It's like,
because you care. Mina, I said the same. I do have things to lose because I do work within the trans community, but I realize that I don't care about that. That's all monetary stuff. I'm willing to lose that because I can always figure out other ways.
Well, listen,
for me, I have my integrity means more than fucking making money. I don't give a fuck.
Where did the dignity of the species go? And you know what,
right.
Buck?
Let's
generalize for a minute.
Right.
it's not just the LGBT, it's humanity.
That's right.
It's humanity.
It's everyone. That's right.
Because when you think about it, all
That's
these
right.
all these communities, it's all a bunch of hogwash anyway, because
That's right.
all that does is put people in different egg cartons in different terrariums.
That's right. That's
because again, it's this two-tier system bullshit.
Two-tier system. Brilliant. That's brilliant
I
what you
don't like
say.
it's
Yeah.
And you know what? The way I perceive life, we're all one energy.
Thank you.
That energy that comes
Thank
through you is
Yes.
speaking through me.
That's
That
right.
same energy that speaks through me is speaking through Dylan
right.
Mulvaney.
I
But
know.
she's what, 20 years old?
Yep.
Maybe
Yep.
not even.
I don't even know. Yep.
I judge people
Shameful.
based on their life experiences.
Me too.
And the way this person talks, I can tell is not well read, doesn't understand really what a trans woman is or a biological woman is.
Yeah.
just became like, I don't know, like,
it's weird.
And now people are literally swimming in their lower ego, because that's what this whole internet is all about. It's lower vibrational, lower ego shit.
Yep.
And you know what? I don't like to dance with disingenuous people.
Me neither.
I'd rather stand alone and be mocked at by a million men than be a part of the million men that are mocking that one person that everyone knows is right. I think I kind of it makes, again, I know I'm reiterating, but it makes me nauseous to see trans people parlaying in these kind of like weaponized games, because man, and these medical games, none of you are doctors, okay?
That's right.
Nobody's a fucking doctor. No one, most trans advocates probably haven't studied endocrinology or hormone therapy or pediatrics or the science of blood, or what it does to the bones, to every again, also too. And you know what, a lot of trans people don't talk about what they went through with hormone therapy. 9 out of 10 people, Buck, this one got cancer. This one had to remove a fucking breast. This one's arteries got clogged. My bones were in pain. And you know what? I've been doing yoga 30 fucking years, dude. I'm not about to give up my fucking the natural this medicinal religious practice I've been fucking doing for a fucking drug that I know in my soul, whether I'm on the hormone or not, and I'm again speaking for myself, doesn't fuck with the divine essence of who I really am. I needed to go through hormones to get me to this point to say, you know what? Now it's working against my psychology. It's working against my body now. Now I think it's time. And it was scary for me, but I just did it. I had no real negative cold turkey, maybe a little bit. I always dry heaved on hormones anyway. I would take the shot in my leg because I administered the shot in my leg on my own every 2 weeks. I wasn't on progesterone. I was never on any puberty blockers, Spironol. I would tell my doctor all the shit my friends were on. He's like, they're all sick. I'm sorry.
Totally.
They all think they're overdoing it for the bloodstream. Okay.
That's right. Right.
And I'm a little tiny body. I'm 5'1". I weigh about 120 pounds. There was no need to. Progesterone made me fucking, I was throwing up my kidney every fucking morning for a year. And I'm like, Doc, this can't be what the fuck it's like. So I cut that out, and I just administered the shot every 2 weeks. And my body, even throughout the years, gave me signals like, hey, like, is it worth,
that's right. That's right.
Because I'm Italian, the facial hair's growing back, you know. But
hot. That's okay.
There's biology. But for me, I can't deal. It's like
I get it totally. It's like all of a sudden, if my boobs grew back, I'd be completely freaked out. I totally get it, and that's our dysphoria there, and that's really important. But you know what, we're gonna have to end this because there's too much wisdom here.
Thank you,
I don't want. I don't want people to not
Yeah.
hear every single thing you've said, because it's actually make me cry, because
Oh, look.
we need you. Gosh, we need you, Mina, because you have such a great understanding of what this is all about, from a
Yeah.
way that no one has said. No one has said what you have
No.
said. No.
Buck, I love humanity. I
Uh,
love spirit. I
uh,
come from that intention. I really do.
I
I
know.
can
I
cry.
feel
I
it.
can cry with you right now
I
because
know.
I don't like the direction shit's
No.
going into. I don't
No.
like the trans community being at each other's throats.
No.
There needs to be a breaking point.
Yeah.
You know, battling it out the way we've been doing it
No.
ain't working. It's not going to work.
That's
And
right.
something needs to change. And I know we have
That's
to
right.
go. And I just want to take this time to
Yeah.
thank you for this
Oh,
opportunity, for giving me this avenue, because I really don't have this avenue, with all the people and that
mhm, mhm,
and the community of folks that you've built. I think
mhm.
I have more heterosexuals in my
Which is
life than,
important. That's
yeah,
important.
but I
It
don't,
is.
I don't have the audience that
No,
you
the young
have.
people need to hear you. The young look, I'm in trouble with the young people for some reason right now. They need to hear you. And as a trans woman, they need to hear what you're saying,
Yeah,
as a elder trans woman, and also somebody who really understands that we're erasing trans people. We are actually erasing trans people by
yeah,
what we're doing. We're erasing our experience, we're erasing our
yeah,
individuality, we're erasing so
yeah.
many things.
Whatever
So
happened to our,
what happened? What happened?
at the authenticity of what it
That's
meant to be,
right.
trans.
That's
All the
right.
trans women I grew up
That's
knew
right.
that they had this challenge, and
That's right.
they gracefully went through it anyway. Nobody claimed to be,
Nope.
uh you know
Nope. Nope. A woman, a
yeah,
biological
by
woman.
a
What? Yeah.
female mammal.
Yeah.
I'm not a
Nope.
female mammal,
That's
babe.
right. You're not. You're
But
not.
anyway,
So
thank you
anyway,
for
yeah,
this.
thank you,
Thank
Mina,
you.
and thank you everybody for watching. And also, I'll put all Mina's information at and please reach out to her and follow her on Instagram, and I'll put all her stuff there.
Yeah.
She's powerful. We
You
need to
can
raise.
hate me all you want.
No one hates you. Don't worry about that. We want to
Don't-
raise your vibrations, because your vibrations will help to make things in a much more
Absolutely.
healthy environment. So thanks everybody. Like, subscribe, join us here. And I thank you all for watching and continue to watch. And